Take a look at this octopus. It's potentially the most lethal predator on the planet. Nearly unparalleled intelligence, a sharp beak with potent venom, 8 arms lined with suckers, and the ability to take on any shape, color, and texture at the drop of a hat. It's out and about searching for its favorite prey, crustaceans. They're slow, full of meat, and most often, stupid. They've got a strong grip, but octopus has one that's even stronger. It's used to them trying to fight back, but none have ever succeeded. Soon, our cephalopod spots its quarry, and it looks like a big shrimp. It sees octopus and squares up, but all the crabs it faced in the past tried the same thing, and so caution is thrown to the wind. It approaches with full confidence, ready to grab, when all of a sudden,
I gotta get out of here!
welcome to the first episode of Animal Absurdities, a new series where we take a look at the craziest animals on the planet and how they accomplish insane feats of nature. If this is your first time here, consider subscribing. Now back to our unfortunate cephalopod friend. Let's assess where octopus went wrong. It wasn't the approach, or the fact that it wasn't camouflaged, no. It was the choice of prey. You see, octopus went after a mantis shrimp. And while shrimp is in the name, octopus will never get the two mixed up again. Mantis here is in the order Stomatopoda, part of the class Melacostraca in the subphylum Crustacea. One of their key features, and the one our octopus learned about the hard way, are their raptorial appendages. Evolved from the same leg as a crab's claw, also known as a cheliped, similar to mantises on land, and they come in two varieties. The first are long barbed spears, perfect for ambushing fish that swim too close to mantis' burrow, known as spears. But that's not what our cephalopod ran into. Octopus came face to face with a clubber, and true to its name, instead of spears, it has massive clubs. This variety is also known as thumb splitters, which should tell you all you need to know about them. The method with which the punch is delivered is incredible, and it's unlike anything seen in the animal kingdom. When you throw a punch, muscles in your arms and shoulders are first contracted to build up potential energy, which is then released when they expand. Mantis takes this concept and completely flips it upside down. Here's what their arm looks like. Muscles in here, called the extensors, expand, which allows the club to fold down over the forearm. A tendon, known as a sclerite, slides over a notch on the exoskeleton and hooks there, acting as a latch. This bit up here is called a saddle spring, which, as the name implies, acts like a spring storing potential energy when it gets folded by the arm. This may all seem somewhat confusing, so let me make an analogy. Essentially, what we have here is a crossbow. The extensor is your hand pulling back on the drawstring when it expands, and the rapid contraction is you pulling on the trigger. The drawstring itself is the sclerite tendon, and the crossbow notch that it hooks into is the same as the notch in a mantis's exoskeleton. The crossbow's limbs equate to the saddle spring, going so far as to take on the same shape as its biological counterpart. And finally, the club itself is the arrow, primed for firing. All of that results in Rocky Balboa over here punching harder than most people can, hitting at 1,500 newtons, while your average dude hits at a measly 950. The club moves at 30 meters per second. That's 67 miles per hour for us Americans, and it accelerates faster than a .22 caliber bullet when fired from a pistol, exceeding 300 meters per second. But the club itself isn't the only aspect of the punch that makes it so devastating. When the club strikes something, it bounces back at an incredible speed, which creates a low pressure region between the club and its target. This area, for an extremely brief moment, becomes as hot as the surface of the sun and boils the water, creating a cavitation bubble that implodes and sends out a shockwave that basically acts as a second punch. If you ever find these guys out in the wild, proceed with caution. It's unlikely that they'll try and fight you, but they are highly territorial and will react with extreme violence if they see another of their species. Divers have lost thousands of dollars worth of camera equipment because they went to photograph a mantis shrimp who saw its reflection in the camera lens and went full Doom Guy on it. The punch isn't the only crazy thing about these guys, though. They have the most complex eyes in the animal kingdom. They're compound eyes like other arthropods, but capable of seeing 100,000 colors, the most of any animal. For comparison, you and I can only see 10,000. On top of that, they can see polarized light, meaning light bouncing off of objects at different angles will be differentiated by a mantis's brain, so even the best camouflage might not be useful in avoiding their detection. Probably how octopus got spotted in the first place. All of that makes the mantis shrimp, in my books, one of the most incredible animals to have ever existed. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, as more is sure to come in the future. If you know of a crazy animal that you want me to discuss, make sure to tell me in the comments. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. You all have yourselves a good one, and I hope you learned something.